वेलकम। क्या हुआ, एग्ज़ाम आ गया, एग्ज़ाम सर पे है एंड आई कैन टोटली अंडरस्टैंड दैट राइट नाउ all of you are worried about various sections of your exam. And for the same reason, आज का हम वीडियो स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं which is about CAT 2025 VARC section, what you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to not do. And as you can see on your screen, my focus would be on maximizing your accuracy and avoiding traps, because in this crucial time, a lot of us tend to make a lot of mistakes. So, चलते हैं, okay? Do's for CAT VARC. VARC is a section जहाँ पे it is very easy to get overconfident, right? हमें लगता है कि हमने सब कुछ कर लिया है अब तो, and often we neglect a lot of things. तो इस सेंस में अब मैं बात करूँगी कि what we are not supposed to neglect and what we are supposed to be focusing on. First and foremost, we are covering a reading comprehension section, RC strategy, and as you can tell that it is one of the vital sections of your entire verbal ability section. Now we know what reading comprehension actually is, but my main point here is that you should be knowing the few basics of reading comprehension that are must for any kind of practice, which the first one is skimming the passage. Okay, whenever you come across a passage, you need to know how to skim it quickly so that you get the central idea of the passage. Okay, पूरी महाभारत हमको नहीं देखनी है line by line, word by word. First of all, ऐसे हमको उसको स्कैन करना, स्किम करना आना चाहिए कि हम उसका बेसिक आइडिया स्टार्टिंग के ही 2-3 सेकेंड्स में समझ जाएं. Identify author's tone and purpose. Many a times you come across a direct question asking you about the tone of the paragraph or the tone of the author or the purpose that the author has written the paragraph for. तो वो आपको identify करना आना चाहिए. Summarize each paragraph in 1-2 lines mentally. Obviously, many questions come across such as asking you for the appropriate title or appropriate summary to the paragraph, and if you would already summarize the paragraph in your mind while reading it, you will know that instantly know the answer to that question. So, and lastly, underline keywords. Keywords are nothing but a part of the skimming process. If you will underline the dates or statistics or any kind of logics, names, arguments mentioned in the comprehension, you will know what exactly the comprehension is about and it will save you time. Basically, all these 4 points will help you save time in any scenario, and right now you must be focusing on these 4 a lot so that you don't get stuck during the exam, and these techniques should be on your tips. Yeah, so for underlining keywords, I have an example here that if the sentence is saying by 2030 renewable energy would be 40%, so you have to underline the statistics mentioned in this paragraph, okay, so that later on if a question is asked, you can cross check your facts. Next is daily RC practice. This is something that you have to stick to without fail, because you don't have much time left, and at this time in verbal ability you cannot really revise it. Like in quant or reasoning you can revise stuff, or the stuff that you have already you can practice. Similarly, case is with verbal ability that you have to practice a lot. So read 2-3 passages daily. You can pick it from anywhere, like the newspaper or fictional books that you have or any journals that you have access to. Even the online articles that are present, you can go there and practice yourself. And then you have to know what inference actually means. I think at this point all of us are aware what inference and assumptions for a reading comprehension are, and you should learn and practice those techniques, that how to infer and what kind of inference you are permitted to take from a reading comprehension. And finally, expose yourself to diverse topics. What I'm trying to say here is that in CAT you come across different kind of paragraphs. Okay, it can belong to fiction, it can belong to maybe a report, or it could be some philosophical paragraph. If you are exposing yourself to different topics from this point only, you will be aware of the journal terminology used in those paragraphs. Okay, see, if you come across a paragraph which is talking about stock exchange and you're not aware of basic terminology, you will get stuck very easily. So that is why it is highly important to keep on exposing yourself to different topics. You can add multiple topics to this. You can add fiction. You can add general knowledge. You can add finance. All these topics, it will not only help you with your vocab and reading capability, but also will expose you to the terminology or jargons that maybe somehow help you in the exam. Next is answering tactics. Now we are going to write an exam जहाँ पे it will be tested. Ultimately everything depends on आप क्या आंसर लिख के आ रहे हैं वहाँ पे या आप क्या आंसर मार्क करके आ रहे हैं वहाँ पे. तो ये कुछ आंसरिंग टेक्निक्स हैं which I want all of you to be at least be aware of and be familiar with. Okay, use elimination, remove off topic, out of scope options. Right, whenever I solve questions in the class, I often follow this technique that if some option is grammatically wrong, so obviously it cannot replace the phrase underlined, right? So you have to eliminate those options. This way you can make, I'm not asking you कि तुक्का लगाओ, but this way you can make calculated guesses that if you are able to eliminate say 2 options at least, then your probability of marking the answer right increases. Match answers strictly to the passage evidence. Now a lot of us go into the exam with a lot of bias or thoughts in our own head. हमने कुछ पढ़ा होता है कहीं पे, हमने कुछ सीखा होता है, but whenever we are reading a reading comprehension and we are solving the questions, अपनी prior knowledge को बिल्कुल हटा देना है, बिल्कुल भूल जाना है कि हमने कुछ सीखा है, and we have to stick with whatever is mentioned in that paragraph. Read lines, reread lines for inference questions. Whenever a question asks you that what kind of inferences can be drawn or what all inferences follow the previous paragraph, you have to read those lines again and again, okay, so that you don't mistake any point or you do not take one point for another. Trust first instincts unless proven otherwise. Now this point might be a little confusing for you because I'm not saying that you just see the option and mark it blindsidedly, okay? You have to see the options, and if you get an instinct कि आपको लग रहा है कि these two might be the right answer, any one of these two, so you can stick to that, but at the same time keep logic in your head and solve it in that manner only. So you have to trust your instinct and not overcomplicate things. कई बार I have observed in students that they tend to add statistics from their own side. So you don't have to do that. You just have to focus on what has been given to you. Now this is the areas where you need to focus at this point of time, right? We've talking enough about RC. We are obviously practicing RC, as I said in the second point, and these are the areas which I would also be focusing, which is para-jumbles. Okay, a lot of us get confused when we see 5 or 6 sentences in para-jumbles. So at this point, I want you to focus on connectors or connecting sentences or how the paragraph flow goes, so that if you come across such kind of questions, you have prior practice of the same. आपने वो चीज़ किया होगा या आपको पता होगा कि पर्टिकुलर कनेक्टर हम कहाँ यूज करते हैं, तो ऑब्वियसली ऑप्शंस देखते ही आप समझ जाएंगे. पैराग्राफ समरी, एज आई सेड, पैराग्राफ समरी हेल्प्स यू इन मिस्टीरियस वेज, बिकॉज ये ऐसी चीज़ है कि पर्टिकुलरली आपको शायद ना मिले, बट ये बहुत जगह आपके काम आएगी. इवन पैरा जम्बल्स में अगर आपको दिख रहा है कि पर्टिकुलर सेंटेंस इज मेकिंग अ समरी फॉर द एंटायर लॉट, देन ऑब्वियसली पैराग्राफ समरी वुड हेल्प यू देयर, राइट? फॉर ऑड वन आउट, for odd one outs, they are mentioning logical disconnection. What happens? What do you mean by logical disconnection? You have to just see that what kind of logic is being followed, and if a certain phrase or certain option is not following that logic, then you will immediately cross that out as your answer. Lastly, sentence correction. Now, sentence correction requires a lot of grammar and context in which the sentence has been presented to you. So I cannot emphasize on this more that for this you need to practice very extensively. जैसे कि हमको बताया जाता है हमेशा से कि मैथ्स के लिए पेन उठाना पड़ेगा, प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ेगी. Similarly, for English grammar, you have to keep on practicing questions. So what at this point you could do is practice PYQs or any kind of questions that you come across related to CAT. Okay, so these are the do's that you are supposed to do for verbal ability, and now let's come across and see the points कि क्या नहीं करना है. Okay, don'ts. Don'ts in VARC. Basically, don't answer using personal opinion. I cannot emphasize this enough कि आपने जो भी आज तक सीखा है, जो भी आपने नॉलेज फैक्ट्स गेन किए हैं, आरसी पढ़ते में उसको साइड रखो और अपने आरसी पे फोकस करो. जो उसमें बताया गया है, स्टिक टू दैट पर्टिकुलर इंफॉर्मेशन. एंड दिस हैपन्स only when you are underlining or highlighting the sentences or important keywords. Don't rely on memory of similar topics. Similar to the last point that I mentioned, don't rely on your memory. Just forget what you have learned and go right into the passage. Don't stick to a confusing passage for too long. This happens very frequently with a lot of us. क्या होता है कि हम solve कर रहे होते हैं and it's like a long paragraph and you have invested a decent number of seconds into that or minutes into that paragraph और हम उसको अपनी ego पे ले लेते हैं कि no, अभी तो मुझे इसको solve ही करना है. Don't go with that mindset. If it is seeming complicated to you, it's complicated for everyone. Instead of that RC, you can go to the next one or next section so that it will not eat up the time of those questions जो आपको आते थे, जो कि easy थे. So lastly, at least you will not have the guilt कि भाई मैंने पूरा section नहीं देखा. I got stuck with just one RC. So don't do that. Don't ignore tone shifting words. Now, often question comes for tone, right? As I mentioned in the first point of do's, that the words that change the paragraph, however, consecutively, consequently, yet, but, you have to keep that in mind. You have to see that if a sentence is balancing between positive or negative or is it balancing between two different set of arguments. You have to keep that in mind because in descriptive or argumentative reading comprehensions, often these kind of words are the game changers. Don't overthink straightforward verbal ability questions. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, do not overthink, okay? Don't think that why this particular sentence was not defined better या फिर मुझे तो ये लग रहा है इसमें तो ये logic mention ही नहीं किया है या फिर RC में this was such an interesting long section तो obviously answer इसी से उठ के आना चाहिए. Don't stick to that. Just you have been given a set of instruction, you have been given a lot of questions, you have your prior knowledge of English grammar, just go in with that. These are the traps that I was talking about in the beginning, how to avoid them. Extreme phrasing. What happens is, in some options during RC, some options contain that it is always correct that certain things, okay? Or maybe everyone that goes into space experiences shrinking. Now, these are the extreme logic, okay? These are the extreme phases. You will see that options containing these kind of words are often wrong. So don't go into that blindly. If it is not mentioned in your RC, it is not of relevance to you. Options adding new information not in passage. Obviously जैसे हमने अभी सीखा कि हमें अपने पास से new information नहीं add करनी है, वैसे ही हमको कोई ऐसा option नहीं उठाना है जो हमारे RC में है ही नहीं. राइट हमको स्टिक करना है जो भी स्ट्रेट लाइंस हमने हाईलाइट की हैं, जो भी कीवर्ड्स हमने हाईलाइट की हैं. मिसलीडिंग इमोशनल इंटरप्रिटेशन. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि आरसी में कोई टॉपिक कवर किया गया है, इट इज़ सम इमोशनल काइंड ऑफ टॉपिक एंड इवन इफ इट इज़ नॉट, इफ इट इज़ टॉकिंग अबाउट फिलोसफी, तो ऑप्शंस ऐसे आपको दिए जाते हैं कि आप उससे मूव हो जाएं. इमोशनल ऑप्शंस दिए जाते हैं या एक्सट्रीम इमोशनल ऑप्शंस दिए जाते हैं. सपोज वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द क्राइम रेट इन इंडिया इन आर आरसी, and in some of the options for the conclusion or solution it is suggested that all criminals should be hanged. So this is something that is very emotionally charged, right? And at the same time it is also extreme suggestion because it says all criminals, like you are ignoring all the crimes, different kind of crimes they have committed, and you are saying all criminals. So this is also an example of an extreme statement. So उस केस में आपको इमोशनल नहीं होना है. You have to stick to your logic and you have to stick to what the RC is saying. So these are the traps, okay? क्योंकि उस टाइम हम बहुत हरी में होते हैं. We have to save time anyhow. So often happens that we ignore these points, but we have to keep these points in mind instead. Accuracy over attempts. This is something that I keep telling my students a lot, that अगर 24 यूजुअली हम पूरे क्वेश्चंस नहीं कर पाते हैं, ठीक है, फिर भी अगर आप एक गुड नंबर कर रहे हो, सपोज अगर आपको 12, 13, 15 क्वेश्चंस भी आप अच्छे डिसेंटली कर दे रहे हैं, आपको मार्क्स मिल जा रहे हैं उसमें, तो इट विल बी एक्यूरेट फॉर यू. ओके, यू हैव टू मेंटेन योर एक्यूरेसी. हमको तुक्के नहीं लगाने सिर्फ इस वजह से कि मैं तो पूरा या 75 या 80-85% क्वेश्चन करके ही आऊँगा. वी हैव टू गेट रिड ऑफ दैट माइंड सेट. ठीक है, सो इसके लिए ये माइंड में रखो कि दे आर पेनलाइजिंग यू विद नेगेटिव मार्क्स. ओके, ऐसा नहीं है कि आप कोई भी तुक्का लगा देंगे एंड आप उससे बच के निकल जाएंगे. यू विल नॉट कम आउट अनस्केथेड. इट विल एक्चुअली pull down, drag down your scores, and it will eat up all the right answers that you have marked. So don't go into that trap of attempting a lot of questions. Avoid blind guessing unless options are eliminated. Exactly the point I made in the beginning कि हमको एकदम blind guess नहीं लगाना है, तुक्के नहीं मारना है हमको. We have to make calculated guesses. एंड कैलकुलेटेड गेसेस कैसे होते हैं? जब हम एलिमिनेट कर पाते हैं ऑप्शन. लॉजिकली एलिमिनेट हो रहा है तो वेल एंड गुड, अदरवाइज मूव अहेड एंड चेक लेटर. इट्स लाइक दैट. ओके, एंड जो ये पॉइंट है कि एक्यूरेसी मेंटेन करनी है, अटेम्प्ट्स का चाहे कम भी हो जाए, हाउ डज दिस कम थ्रू? ओके, अभी लास्ट मोमेंट में अ लॉट ऑफ यू मस्ट बी वंडरिंग कि ऐसा हमें कैसे पता चलेगा कि हमारी एक्यूरेसी कितनी है, कि एंड हाउ मच इम्प्रूवमेंट डू वी नीड. फॉर दैट यू हैव टू कीप सिटिंग फॉर मॉक्स. Okay, for that you have to keep practicing questions. Even if you are giving a sectional test for CAT or you're taking the entire full length mock, you have to keep sticking to that again and again so that you can get an idea कि भाई अगर मैंने इतने questions लगा रहे हैं तो मेरे 50% सही हुए हैं कि 70% सही हुए हैं. एक और फ़ायदा है मॉक्स का कि अगर आपने कैलकुलेटेड गैस लगाया है कि आपने 2-3 ऑप्शंस एलिमिनेट करके आंसर मार्क करा है, तो यू विल गेट एन आइडिया कि ओके फाइन, दिस इज़ व्हाट इज़ वर्किंग फॉर मी एंड दिस इज़ समथिंग दैट इज़ नॉट वर्किंग फॉर मी. एट दिस पॉइंट यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस दैट मच कि आपको पता हो अपने स्ट्रेंथ्स एंड वीकनेसेस. Lastly, my 2 cents, since I am also a teacher and based on my previous experiences, these are the points that I have compiled and all students should relate and understand with these. Understanding is better than memorizing. At many places in verbal ability, लगता है हमको कि याद कर लेना चाहिए, we should just stick to the rules. True, a lot of things do not sit well with logic. But जब आप क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग कर रहे हैं, जब आप आरसी सॉल्व कर रहे हैं, जब आप पैराग्राफ फॉर्मेशन कर रहे हैं, पैरा जम्बल्स कर रहे हैं, फॉर दैट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द रूल्स दैट हैव बीन प्रेजेंटेड टू यू एंड दे आर एक्सट्रीमली लॉजिकल एंड दैट इज़ वाई अ लॉट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस इज एडवाइज्ड फॉर दैम. Structure is important than the detail. What they're trying to say is that during questions like para-jumble or complete the paragraph or spot the error, you don't have to see that what exactly the thing or the sentence or the paragraph is talking about. Instead, you should be able to see the structure or the coherence or how the sentences are making sense together. That will help you more. Accuracy is better than speed. Yes. If you know that you can 100% solve this question and you will surely get marks for this question, you stick to it. Okay, you do not care about speed. Okay, and only when you will know your accuracy, you will be able to give considerable amount of time to those questions and they will yield you good results and good marks. Elimination is better than guessing. I think I have emphasized on this point enough that you need to logically eliminate and make calculated guesses and not just blind guessing. Review is better than panic. Obviously, this time it is very common. It is very normal to panic. It is very normal to get nervous and overthink things. But instead of thinking anything, it is better that you start doing and you start reviewing whatever you have studied so far. And even during the exam, if you feel that you have given a few more seconds or minutes to a question more than it was required, just review it once so that it becomes fruitful for you and you get the right answer out of it and you do not commit any silly mistakes. So these were my 2 cents, dear students, and I hope this video has helped you and I'm sure that all of you will do good during your exams if you stick to these points. Just have faith in yourself and keep telling yourself that you got this. Thank you and have a